Welcome back.
I'm Mark.
And I'm Jamie.
Welcome to another episode of Hanging Out with Mark and Jamie.
Today we're going to do something different. We're going to tour St. Paul. This is obviously Charlie Brown of the Charles Schulz Peanuts characters. I don't know if you knew this, but Charles Schulz was from Minnesota, actually St. Paul. And they made these and they sold them. And I wanted to get one, and so I went out to the Mall of America where they were having the auction, and I was going to spend maybe $500, maybe $1,000. Within 10 seconds, it was $30,000, and I was way out of bounds on that, and they all sold. And here's also Snoopy, and these are a couple that they have at the U of M campus, and we'll show you more about Charles Schulz. On the campus of the State Fair here in actually Falcon Heights out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Second largest in the country, second only to Texas, but I believe theirs runs for 2 weeks and ours runs for 10 days. So there's the grandstand where they have all the concerts and all the big names, that's where they're shown. And coming around to my son's favorite, the Giant Slide. The Twin Cities are blessed with many natural amenities and several lakes, as you've seen. We've got Como Park here, and this is Como Lake. It's a beautiful lake, but it's not a swimming lake, as it creates part of the water system, the drinking water system, for the city of St. Paul. The Como Park Conservatory, it is filled with wonderful plants. There are exotics, there's a bonsai tree display, there's a full Japanese garden outside. There's one room separated for just ferns, and believe me, the place smells wonderful. This is Allianz Field for Minnesota soccer. You know, Minnesota has all the major sports. We have Twins for baseball, Vikings for football, Timberwolves for basketball, Wild for hockey, and here are the Loons for Major League Soccer. May 18th, 2019, we're at the Alliance Field watching the Loons play Columbus, and they just got a goal. It's the 7-minute mark, very cool, and I was lucky to get it on film watching the corner kick. Something went wrong, offsides or something. Anyway, we have no score. There was a score earlier, but apparently it was disallowed. This is Grand Avenue in St. Paul. Notice the Lexington Parkway sign at the top of the picture. This is where they have Grand Old Days. Let me show you a picture of that. This is held in early June each year. Otherwise, the avenue is known as the employment place for most of my siblings during our high school years. And here we're in front of the house of one of our best literary luminaries. F. Scott Fitzgerald was born into this building right here. This is the place where F. Scott Fitzgerald was living at the time he wrote his book about paradise, and that put him on the literary map right here in St. Paul. We are on Summit Avenue here, and this is where all the big houses were built. This came to prominence before there were cars. So everybody with money lived down near downtown, and that's why these houses are big. Right here is the James J. Hill Mansion. James J. Hill was in charge, or the owner of the Empire Builder and the Great Northern Railroad.
And he built the Stone Arch Bridge.
And he built the Stone Arch Bridge. That's exactly correct. One of the biggest icons in St. Paul is, of course, the St. Paul Cathedral up here on only the best piece of land in the whole city of St. Paul. It was built for $1 million somewhere around the turn of the century. And I think they spent $85 million fixing the copper top recently. So it's a different dollar figure going on today. Here we've got St. Paul College, and then right on the same street is the capital of the state of Minnesota. And that's a Cass Gilbert building. I'd show you more of it, but it's closed today. So this is the best we're gonna do.
Well, this is a great place.
This is a good place.
Lunchtime. This is a great place for lunch.
Yes. We've been driving all over St. Paul. I'm ready for something to eat. You know, right in front of us here is the Covington Bed and Breakfast. It's a boat, and it's a bed and breakfast. That's kind of cool.
I have never been there. I've never been in that.
Neither have I. Neither have I.
I've been in the Jonathan Paddleford that's just down the way here.
We used to take that for our prom and stuff like that.
Okay.
This is the CHS Field in downtown St. Paul. This is the home of the St. Paul Saints. It's important this year because the Saints just took over as the AAA affiliate to the Minnesota Twins. And surprisingly, geographically, this is the closest AAA affiliate to its home team, which is just over in Minneapolis. But one of the best parts is, this is by far the greatest stadium in minor league. It's open air. Seating is very close. It's a lot of fun, but in addition, it's in downtown St. Paul. We're just blocks away from everything and across the street from the farmer's market. What more could you ask? This is the St. Paul City Hall. Kind of stark, not really enjoying the grandeur of the Minneapolis City Hall, but this is what we got. We're in Rice Park. This is probably the cultural center of St. Paul. Behind us is the St. Paul Hotel, where if you have too much money, you can stay there. But in Rice Park, there have been many celebrations, of course. Ulysses Grant was here. Chester Harrison, president, was here. Behind us is the library, St. Paul Library, and the James J. Hill portion of that. Further around is the Ordway for the performing arts. And last but not least is the Landmark Center, which used to be the Federal Building, but now is used for multi-purposes. And I'm standing here with my homie, F. Scott Fitzgerald. How about that? I guess I was a little taller than him.
Funny. And Rice Park is also a location where they do Winter Carnival.
Yes, and which might be foreign in some parts of this country, but they do ice carving here. And they stay for weeks and weeks and weeks because nothing melts around here. And behind us here is the St. Paul Airport. St. Paul has an airport. Minneapolis doesn't. They have MSP, but that's actually in Bloomington. This is an airport where both Mark and I have flown out of. This was the first airport you flew out of.
It is. First airport I got checked out in when I first moved to Minnesota
When you moved to
25
Minnesota.
years ago.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us on a tour of St. Paul.
If you enjoyed this video, hit like. Leave us a comment if you have a question, and please subscribe.
Thanks.